Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Hello, and welcome back to IELTS Vocab Trainer. The lesson today will be on travel and holidays. So, what do you like to do when you are on holiday? Do you like to go to a big, bustling, crowded place with fantastic city sights, food and entertainment? Or do you prefer to go somewhere quiet and peaceful, where you can escape the pressures of city living, such as a remote lake or mountain or a beautiful beach? You might even like both. It just depends on how you feel and the situation. Describing a holiday and what you saw, what you did and how you felt is common in IELTS in part 2 of the speaking module. You may also get questions related to travel in other sections of the speaking module as well. Now let's look at a few things that tourists often do on holiday. This is everyday vocabulary. People may have a look around the shops and buy something, such as souvenirs, or spend a lot of money on other things, such as clothes. While others simply like to window shop, which means just looking through shop windows and not actually buying anything. Do you like shopping and spending lots of money, or do you just like to window shop? So what else can people do? Well, tourists may look at some interesting historical sites, which they might do independently, or they could go on a special tour around the city. Others may simply like to take a stroll, which means a leisurely walk, and take some photographs of anything they see that's interesting. In the evenings, people may go out to try some local food or sit in a cafe and generally have a great time and enjoy themselves. Be careful not to get lost when you are in a new city, and be sure to have a map or guidebook with you just in case. So now, let's say a few of these words together. Let's say souvenirs, souvenirs. Historical, historical. Tour, tour. And stroll, stroll. I would like to introduce some more everyday vocabulary now for describing holiday places. I will read each statement and then explain further about the highlighted words. 1. Bar Island is a lovely place and we found a really wonderful place to stay. 2. This town is full of interesting places. The word place is very common and can describe a building, an area, a town, or country. Let's say place, place. And remember to voice the s on the end. 3. Venice is beautiful, but it's always packed with tourists in the summer. Packed means crowded or full. Let's say packed, packed, packed. 4. New York is very cosmopolitan. The word cosmopolitan means full of people from different countries and cultures. Let's pronounce this. It has 4 syllables, and the third one is stressed. Cosmopolitan, cosmopolitan. 5. Vienna has lots of historical monuments. Let me say that again and repeat after me. Historical monuments, monument. This means places built a long time ago. For example, castles. 6. Many beautiful cities have become very touristy. Touristy. Touristy is a negative word which means that a place is too commercial and has too many tourists. 7. Sao Paulo is a really lively place and the nightlife is fantastic. Lively, lively. Lively means full of life and activity. And 8. If you want to travel around Scotland for a bit, it's worth renting a car. If something is worth doing, it means that it's a good idea. Okay? In both the IELTS speaking and writing modules of the IELTS test, it may be necessary to provide descriptions of places, people, and things. This is an important skill in communication. When you use descriptive words such as adjectives or adverbs, try not to use simple words like good, bad, nice, or okay. Use exciting words that give more emphasis or show emotion. Practice using higher level words for every simple word you know, such as thrilled instead of happy, or depressed instead of sad. You don't need to have an extensive vocabulary to effectively use descriptive language, and learning just a few essential higher level words will no doubt strengthen your vocabulary. One of the benefits of using descriptive language is that it helps the speaker to convey the meaning and emotion behind something. This means you can describe exactly how a setting looks, what something or somebody looks or acts like, or what action takes place. The benefit for the listener is the ability to more clearly visualize and understand what is being described. However, don't rely on or overuse descriptive language in, say, part 2 of the speaking module. You need to sound natural, so use descriptive language at the right time in the right context, and remember to stress the word you are saying. For example, it is such a beautiful city. Now, let's have a look at this set of common adjectives that you can use for describing feeling if you're on holiday. As you probably know, some verbs have two related adjectives, one ending in ing and the other in ed. Adjectives ending in ing have an active meaning. For example, an interesting city is one that interests someone, such as the speaker, while adjectives ending in ed have a passive meaning. For example, I'm interested in architecture describes the effect that architecture has on me. Let's go through these now and pronounce the ones that have an ed ending. I will also go through the meaning of the words that you may not know the meaning of. The first one on the list is surprised. Exhausted. This means to be so tired. Confused. Frightened, meaning to be filled with fear. Astonished. This is to be filled with wonder or amazement. Interested. Excited. Terrified. This means to be very scared. Thrilled. And this is to have a sudden feeling of excitement or pleasure. Fascinated. This is very interested or to hold an intense interest or attraction. Embarrassed, meaning to feel very uneasy or ashamed. Finally, we have disappointed, which is sad or displeased that some hope wasn't realized. Now, let's use some of this descriptive language in the right context. I will show you a set of pictures from places from different parts of the world. When you see a picture, first think where it is and what you are looking at. Then think about what words come to mind when you see it. Can you think of at least 3 good adjectives to describe each picture? Words such as so and really can be added before an adjective to give extra emphasis to what you are saying. So, let's try it. Here is number 1. Here are some words we can use. Quiet, peaceful, old, surprising. Let me give a short description now. Angkor Wat in Cambodia is a very old and beautiful city complex that's surprisingly larger than I thought. In the past, it used to be densely populated, but now, when there aren't many tourists, it's so quiet and peaceful. And number 2. This is the Colosseum in Rome. It's an ancient amphitheatre, like a stadium which is close to 2,000 years old. Among all the historical monuments in Rome, this one is the most fascinating, though it can be packed with tourists in the summer. Okay, number 3 now. In Istanbul, Turkey, there are some amazing markets called bazaars, which are full of beautiful clothes, jewelry, and hundreds of other items. The bustling markets are full of wonderful aromas of coffee, dried fruit, nuts, and spices. Number 4. This is Times Square in New York. It's so cosmopolitan and lively, and the nightlife is fantastic. It's worth visiting, especially for the great food and the theatre. Alright, so, good work! You've improved your vocabulary and pronunciation on the topic of travel and holidays. And now we've reached the end of this lesson. Thank you, and stay tuned for the next one.